What's up, guys? My name is JD. I'm a 40-year-old hybrid athlete. I use calisthenics, weightlifting, and running as my primary modalities of training. And today we're going to talk about why calisthenics is superior to weightlifting when it comes down to resistance training for those of us who are 40 years old and older. And we're going to jump straight into the top 3 reasons, starting off with time. Time is of the essence for those of us who are 40 years old and older, for those of us in the 40 plus club. Time is something that we don't just have an abundance of throughout the day. Most of the time I'm thinking to myself, there's not enough time in a day to do everything I need to get done. A lot of us have family responsibilities. A lot of us are well established into our careers. And these two things alone can take up the entire day. Now, factor in things like, meal prepping, factor in things like trying to get enough sleep, and we don't have enough time to spend 2.5 hours commuting to the gym, setting up our, weighted exercises, waiting for a squat rack to open up, waiting for a bench press to open up. Instead, if we have a minimalistic home calisthenics setup at home, maybe we have a pull-up bar, we have some dip bars, we have some gymnastics rings, maybe some parallettes, things of that nature, maybe a kettlebell, a couple dumbbells at the house. We have this type of setup at home. Our workouts can range from anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour, and we still have plenty of more time during the day to take care of our other responsibilities. Now, number 2 on the list is that calisthenics is a more functional way of training, and honestly, it just gives us the type of physique that we're looking for from 40 years old and onward. Now, when you're in your 20s, maybe even your early 30s, you're looking to pack on as much muscle mass as possible. Maybe you even got into bodybuilding, maybe you even got into powerlifting. That type of physique is not necessarily even healthy for those of us who are in our 40s. You have to think about it like this. When you're training calisthenics, you're training mostly body weight training to begin with, and having relative strength and control of your body requires you to be at a lower body fat percentage. I honestly don't even know too many people who train calisthenics consistently who are above 20% body fat. Now, I know plenty of people who are consistent in the gym, super strong, that are doing a lot of heavy weighted movements, squat, deadlift, bench press, shoulder press, things of that nature, who are well above 20% body fat. So training calisthenics, you're more than likely, once you become efficient at calisthenics, you're more than likely going to be between that 12 and 18% body fat range. And that's much more healthier and much more optimal aesthetically for those of us who are in that 40 plus club. Now, number 3 on the list is quicker recovery time and less nagging injuries. Now, like I said, I train a hybrid style, so I actually train with weights as well. Sometimes I do train heavy on the weights. Now, what I've noticed is that the heavier I go on the weights, the more joint issues and the more nagging injuries I accumulate. So training calisthenics, training body weight, you're not putting as much strain on those joints. And training pain-free is a huge advantage for those of us who are 40 years old and older. When you're 20 years old and you're 30 years old, being kind of sore and, having some aches and pains from lifting heavy is almost like a rush that you get from training. It's almost like a rite of passage. But once you get 40 years old, man, you got responsibilities that you have to take care of. You might be remodeling your house. You might have to go help your parents out and do some work at their house. You might have kids that you need to be picking up and putting into cars and putting to bed and doing things like that. Having your shoulders aching is not going to be something that you want. Having a knee injury or having your body just not feel 100% is something that's going to be a hindrance to you. So training calisthenics is going to be a much quicker recovery time, and it's also going to be something that actually makes your body feel better. So being pain-free, quicker recovery times, and having a lot more mobility is going to be a huge advantage when it comes down to training calisthenics over weightlifting. But anyways, guys, those are my top 3 reasons for why calisthenics is superior to weightlifting. If you guys have any points that you want to add in the comment section below, feel free to do so. Even if you disagree with me, put those comments in the comment section below as well. If you guys have gotten some value from this video and maybe you want to learn more about my hybrid approach to training, go ahead and like this video and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below for engagement. Hope everybody's having a great day out there. I'll holler at you guys later. Peace.